Alright, so this is how you're going to do it. So that's the graph, that's what you're going to use for some problems on the test. Obviously, you know that you're not 5, unlike my stepdad. That wasn't funny. So for number 1, it says ry equals x. That's when you would flip the y and x coordinates. So instead of it being negative 8, 6, it would be 6 comma negative 8. On number 2, it says ry equals 0. So that's when you would flip the sign of the y value. So instead of it being positive 8, it'd be negative 8. For number 3, it says rx equals 0. That's when you would flip the x's. I just said it. Positive, negative. So instead of it being a negative 2, it'd be a positive 2. I already sent you the topic 3 practice test thing, right? Hopefully. We saved it in chat. So for number 4, it says find the image of that number that I don't feel like saying. So that's when the graph's going to come in. It says negative 2 on the x. So x, negative 2, negative 2, down 1 because negative 1 for y. So then it says ry equals negative 5. That's when we are on the x's. So that's when we're on the y's. So we'd move down negative 5. So that would leave us that negative 6 on the y-axis. If I mess up, I'm sorry. And then it says rx equals 1. So that's when on the x-axis you would move positive 1. So it'd be, wow, why is it 4, 9? Negative 9. Alright, so if you have a question on that, just come back to me. I can probably figure it out. So it says, what is the reflection rule of the maps in the triangle? So the answer is A. And it's Rx because over here when it says A1, you can see that they're flipped. No, y equals x for A. And that's the right answer because you can see that they're flipped. And that's pretty much what you'll do for 6 as well. You'll see what the outcome is. But let's just go over it anyway. The answer is B. So I guess since it's y equals negative 4, you would times like the y's. So 4 times negative 4. So equals negative 4. I don't know. Why is it? Oh, because 4 times 4 is 16, but since you're timesing it by a negative 4, you're basically going down 16, which is negative 12. So that's why it would be ry equals negative 4. So that's all you gotta show. For number 7, you can use a graph, but over here where it says t negative 2 equal or comma 8, that's where like you do your units. And I got it, and it's for participation, so you don't have to worry about it getting right, but you obviously want to try to get it right. But luckily this is an answer key. Sorry I talk a lot. But since it's t negative 2 comma 8, those are the translations that you're going to use on a graph. So since it's negative 2 and that's on the x, so you're going to go 1, 2 on the x. Yeah. And then you'd go up 8 because it's positive 8. So you don't want to go down because that's a negative positive 8. You want to go up where it's positive and happy. Unlike my line. Just kidding. So for 8, you're basically doing the same thing, but you already have a coordinate row 9, seat 3. And your thing and she is supposed to have row 1, seat 1. So basically, you would find the right answer, which is C, and basically so 9 minus 8 is 1, so that's row 1, and you'd minus 2 from 3, so 3 minus 2 is 1. So that's how you get that answer, but there's if you want to be all complicated, you can figure it out on a graph. Sorry, I'm doing this. Use a translation rule to describe the translation of P, that is 6 units to the left and 6 units down. So on the x-axis, if you go left, that's negative. You know that, right? Because it's on a graph. And down is negative for y, so it's just going to be -6, -6. That's it's just knowing stuff. For this, you're just seeing the translation, which is number 10. That's D. So you just count on a graph, negative. Hold on, I gotta drink some water. 1 sec. This might fix everything. So you would go left 3, because on the x, -3, and then up 2. Yeah, that's what you do. 11. Use a translation rule to describe the transaction of x, that is 5 units to the left and 7 units up. So 5 units to the left, that's -5, and 7 units up, that's +7. So that would be B. Yeah. You could use a graph and be all complicated, but you could probably just explain it. Yeah, you don't have to draw a graph. My math teacher just accepted me explaining it. So for number 12, it's what is translation rule that can be described the result of the composition? Well, it's B. But from 2 to get to 10, no, yes, no, yes, maybe, no, yes. You would just add -6 plus -3, that's -9, and 2 plus 10 is 12. So yeah, just adding, pretty much. And you could probably just put this in your work, but you might want to throw in some stuff there and there, just to be like, hey yo, I did this, here's the proof. A curve red is drawn on a coordinate plane looking at 30, 0. What are the coordinates of the first car after a rotation of 270 about the origin? For this, I would recommend not drawing a graph unless you have a compass. And a math compass is very difficult to use. Well, for me at least. I'm out of breath. This is not as much as I talk. So, yeah, you just use a compass. And like I said over here on 13, it says draw a graph and use a compass to see where the coordinates would be. You could draw a graph and be complicated in ways like maybe 10 minutes of your life. Or you could just write it out like this. 14, you can just, says R120, 0, and the coordinates are O, L. And then you want to know the dashed line segments form 30 degrees angles. So you would use a compass to see what the angles would be, but you could just say that unless you want to be really complicated. And if you want to be complicated, use Desmos. It's a lot easier. And you could just take a picture of the work on Desmos. Yeah. So let's go to 15. The hexagon, yes, it's basically another carnival rat. Alright, I thought I heard something. So the answer is C. Not obviously, it's kind of hard. But you would go from 240, 0, from G, since it's not what like a 120 degree angle would look like. You would go the long way from G to K, so you go left to K, which is 240, and you could use a compass. Alright, where am I? 15. Nope, 16. The glide reflection, y equals negative x, t4, all that. Goodness, scary. So, you'd use the translations the problems give you, and you'd translate on a graph. And, like I said, your math teacher seems pretty strict, so that kind of scares me a little. So, this is my work on the left. That's my work. That's what I did. I didn't draw a graph or anything. I just explained it. Sorry, this is a very long video. I'll try to speed it up. So, yeah, that's 16. You can draw a graph. 17. Reflect off the y-axis and use the translations. Rigid motion composition is a glide reflection from x, y, z to x1, y, y1, z1. So the answer is D, because it says which rigid motion composition is a glide reflection. Yeah. So you would reflect off the y-axis. I would just say that in translate. Basically, you just have to write down everything I said on the left, and I'll finish this video up on what you could do, and you could do that for some problems. I would not recommend the compass problems, because those are kinda weird, unless you use Desmos. So, 8. What summarizes does an equilateral triangle have? So, the correct answer is A. Reflectional symmetry with 3 lenses. You can just write that. You don't have to prove anything. It's just knowledge that yeah. 19. The answer is C. The flag of Great Britain has the most type of symmetry, because look at all those lines. They're perfect for symmetry. Yeah. For 20. Yes. So, there's 3. So, she wants to draw a flower on the cover, the same for each rotation of 45. How many petals would the flower have? You see petals all over a flower, all around it, so that's 360 degrees. 45 degrees. So 45 degrees, ignore that Discord, I'm in a group thing, it sucks. But it's also pretty fun. So, nope. So, 45 degrees goes into 368 times, so the answer is C. 8 times 45 is 360, so yeah, that's basically it. Here's the answer key, just in case if you need it or anything. And this is when I'm gonna say bye. If you need anything else, just message me. Alright, see ya.